Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Yes, hello, and good evening. Thank you all for tuning into Positivity. Let's all make sure. Yeah, I'm so excited for tonight. Please make sure that you like and share this episode, because have we got a show for you. I am the geriatric gem of Philadelphia, Dominique Lee.
Hello, everyone, and I'm Miss Morgan. And yes, Dominique is right. We do have a jam-packed show evening for you tonight, so just settle in and get ready for the ride. Okay, we have games, we have good times, and we have a great panel of guests for you to know and get to know them a little bit better.
Yes, I'm really excited. This show is all about uplifting others, great things happening in Philadelphia, personal triumphs and victories. Basically, we're just here to spread some good vibes.
We sure are. And you know what? All people and performance types are welcome here on our spot. This is a safe space, and we are all here to uplift all. But you know what, Dominique? I am so excited about this night of jam-packed people. Should we just jump right into it? Because we have such a big show tonight that we just see who's on the show?
Yeah, we got some good ones tonight. So why don't you hit it?
Got it. It's very that. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are so lucky, thankful, and blessed to have you all here tonight. So first, I want to mention that if you have not hit that share button yet, make sure you hit that share button. The more people we bring in, the more positivity we spread. And I'll tell you, we really want to hit that record high number tonight of 30 people watching us this evening. So really share. All right. So also, without further ado, Dominique, why don't we have everyone go around and introduce themselves and maybe say a little fun fact about them that we might not know already.
That's a great idea, Morgan. Let's start with guest number one. It's the one immediately. I hate this. Gets me every episode. It's this one, right? No, this one. This one.
Go ahead. Introduce yourself, Gord.
Hello, everyone. I am Balina Canto. Fun fact about me. I really love whales. I've been whale watching probably 20 plus times in my life because I really love it.
Yes.
Amazing. Right. Guest number two, hit it.
Below Balina.
Oh.
Hi, it's me, Ophelia Hotass. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? Yes. I'm so excited to be here. A fun fact about me is that I'm about to wallpaper my living room.
Yes. Come on, adulthood. That's fantastic. Let's go to our guest number three, a vision in neon. It is the one right below me. Hit it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Zaphira Rivers. I am 23 years old. No, I'm kidding. I'm 30. Fun fact about me, I grew up with 4 cats and I used to wet the bed.
You know what? I feel like this is my childhood as well, but here we move it on.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's
very fun.
I mean, I don't anymore, but I used to. Like, when I was like 11.
This is a space of non-judgment. It's like the judgment-free zone at like Planet Fitness. We just don't judge, hon.
Let's get down to our final guest of the evening. It is the lovely guest number 4. Gorgeous. Tell us about yourself.
Hi. I feel like this is a very, very like in the future version of the Brady Bunch. Here's a story about a lovely lady. Anyway, girl, Cali Couture. How's it going? A fun fact about me. I am a teacher outside of the glitz and glam.
Ooh.
All fantastic fun facts, but we have a lot more to share with you. So without further ado, why don't we dive into the interview portion of our show with our fabulous guest number one. Everyone knows this queen as the operatic diva with the heart of gold. But we here at Positively simply know her as a real friend. It is the amazing Balina Canto. Hi, Balina.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Gorgy Gorge. Hey, Balina, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. You're a queen with a history as big as your talents, right? And we have a lot to cover. So let's just jump right into it, if that's okay with you, babe.
Of course.
Yes. So like most of our guests, your love of the arts and performing is a lifelong obsession. You started singing at an early age, but performing and acting later followed while you were in high school. You went to grad school and undergrad school for operatic vocal performances. You also attended a vocal school in Cleveland. Were you extremely outgoing as a child, or would you say your early years of performing helped you with the self-confidence and provide you a sturdy base for the powerhouse queen we see before us?
Well, I think I was. Geez, I don't know. I was kind of annoying as a kid. I used to like chase girls around the like at recess and stuff like that. Probably because I just wanted to like play with them and like play Barbies and stuff. But no, I was always kind of like loud and rambunctious as a kid. And I think that definitely kind of escalated, you know, myself as a performer, because I'm very much a people person. I very much love being in front of people. I kind of like being the center of attention. To some extent, I think if you're a drag queen, you kind of have to, you know, like attention. To some degree. I mean,
not like any of these panel members that we have on here tonight, but
but yeah, I mean, at the same time, I definitely was also shy, especially around people I didn't know. And, you know, being a flamboyant, like, little boy who was obviously pretty homosexual in, you know, a predominantly, like, you know, middle class, white suburb or whatever, like, you know, you're gonna get a lot, you know, I was made fun of and stuff like that. And I was always kind of like, you know, on the bigger side. So, I mean, in that respect, I was kind of like, oh, but I don't know. It was a mix. Like with my friends and with people I knew, I was like, wow. But yeah, I mean, I was also a little more reserved too, because I was, you know, especially around cishet men.
Well, I'll tell you, we all love and adore you, and we think you are gorgeous and super talented, my love. But now listen, with your early inspirations, we've seen that it ranges anywhere from Carol Burnett to Judy Garland. To this day, your love of old Hollywood camp and classic drag is something you apply to your art today. You yourself admit, if it wasn't for musical theater and your obsession with the variety shows from the 1960s and 70s, you wouldn't be not just that queen, but the fabulous person that you are today. Your wealth of musical knowledge really helps you attack drag from a truly unique point of view. Tell us about how you got started writing musical parodies and your amazing new show on the Strings and Things Network, Balina Canto's Variety Hour.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I mean, obviously I love opera, which entails a lot of drama, and I love that side of things, but I'm very much the type to love extremes, like the extreme ends of things, polarity. So I love being really dramatic, but at the same time, I love being really funny. And often, like when you're really dramatic, you can also switch over into comedy because it becomes camp. Yeah. So I love those two things a lot. Like you said, I grew up watching a lot of. My parents are kind of older, I guess, for when I was born. Like they weren't like in their my mom was 38, my dad was also in his later 30s back when I was born in 1990, and they just always loved older things like you said, like Julie Garland, old Hollywood, and they definitely exposed me to all of those things throughout my entire life from an early age. So that's what I grew up knowing and loving, and idolizing. So that has definitely played into what my drag persona is now.
And that's what I was going to say. That was what I was going to say too, is that you definitely, from what I've learned from our pre-interview, is that you mentioned a lot about, your style of your performing arts right now and with your drag aesthetic. And it definitely channels this variety hour show, but like classic with your opera singing and all. Like you definitely mushed a lot of your talent together to make this amazing powerhouse that we are.
And I think as a singer too, like studying how songs work and how to sing them, and like learning lyrics constantly, I think that kind of definitely helped me begin to start to write my own parodies, just because I've been exposed to song and the art of song for so long, so that kind of it came I think it probably came a little more naturally than if I had never been a singer, so that helped. And then just like loving all that comedy stuff too. I mean, it's you just figure out a couple puns and you make sure this rhymes with that, and it's witty and clever. I mean, it's definitely it's not easy, but it's super fun. It's so much fun.
Well, not to spoil alert it, but I think we might have a little snack for everyone to in just a few. So not to spoil alert it, but here we go. Not yet, because I have more to talk. I like to ask beautiful questions about beautiful people.
Sure.
So, Balina, you are someone that has really made lemonade out of lemons when it comes to this quarantine. The glow up is real, girl. And you have participated in countless online shows and pageants. Tell us of some of the highlights of your online work, and how do you personally feel about online drag versus live drag?
Well, the very first thing that I did was with you, Dominique, and Zaphira when we did the Survivor.
Boom, boom, boom.
That was fun. That was fun. It
was super cute.
I loved that, to be honest. Like it really kind of helped distract me from the horrible things happening. But it was also stressful at the same time. But yeah, that was like the very first thing I did. Some highlights, doing the Freaking Queer Festival twice, once in the first time, I think the first one was in May, and then I did it again in October. I had the first time I did a half-hour set of like whatever I wanted to do. So I did a mix of like musical theater, of parody, of opera, and the same thing when I did it again in October. That was probably one of the highlights for me, because it was like the first time I got to kind of create my own kind of like a mini show almost, and like do whatever the hell I wanted. Like I was just given carte blanche to do whatever I wanted. And that was one of the most fun things I did in the past year. Getting this new show, Balina Canto's Variety Hour, on the Strings and Things channel, every first Friday of the month. That premiered in February, and it's a variety show. It's whatever I want it to be, so that you have musical performances. I do interviews with special guests. And it all kind of encompasses how drag, opera, musical theater, classical music, anything that I'm interested in, how it all kind of intersects and how they complement one another. The last show I did was all fashion based. So I did like a closet tour and talked about, my fashion inspirations. And I had a guest and we talked about body positivity and, like in the opera world, there's a lot of fat phobia. So we talked about that and other different issues. And so it's whatever I want it to be. And
I love that. Well, if you need someone to sing live, I hear Dominique does a cool little number. So hit her up. She's a singing.
Yeah, gay men's chorus. I know.
They hired me. Look, They hired me as a dancer, honey. That's how bad I sing, honey, just so you know. Balina, I have two things before I ask you the question that I have. One, do you like my hair?
Oh, I love your hair.
Thank you. It's a Dusty Rose original. Thank you for bringing that up. Number two, you and I have worked together a few times, and I'm really proud of how far you've come. So congratulations on that. You may be a newer queen on this panel, but you are every bit as artist as every one of the queens that are sitting before you today. And that leads me to my question. Since you're one of the few queens here tonight who could probably remember their first time performing a lot easier since it happened more recently than these other old gals. Take us back to that amazing July night in 2019. It was at La Tage, the drag show run by Bird Events, hosted by Philadelphia's own Bev. If you can remember, what were you feeling and how were you treated? Stuff like that. Ooh, look how nervous people got. People were like, was I at that show? Was I nice to her? Go ahead.
I mean, it was terrifying just because, like, I mean, I've been performing for years, you know, in opera and theater. So that aspect necessarily wasn't, I wasn't necessarily worried about that as much. It was more like coming into this new space with all these people that I never met before. And that's kind of always terrifying to me, at least.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, coming there for the first time, or going there. Oh my God, I can't talk. Verbs. What are they? I mean, in that first instant, kind of like, oh, what was that? Back lock. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, that feeling, the pit in your stomach where you're like, oh no, and it's like kind of like fight or flight. But once you move past that moment, it was, you know, it was fine. It was fine, to be honest. And there were people there that were really, really kind to me and inviting and warm. And then once they saw me perform, even more people kind of came up to me. So there was that.
Rightfully so, hon. Rightfully so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
but I love this community so much, and I feel very welcomed and very loved in a short amount of time. So I will say, you know, Philly is wonderful. It's a wonderful place to do drag, and we have so many wonderful artists, and we're just a wonderful community. And I can't speak any more highly of it. I love it here. So
that's sweet. Balina, you were approached with a fight or flight scenario, and you fight, and you continue to fight every day, and I'm really proud of that. Before I ask my last question, I just want to share a moment with you, if I may. During our pre-interview, you said something that was very simple yet very powerful to me. Drag helps people. It's a very simple sentence and one that can get lost in any conversation. But as I was preparing for tonight, it just popped into my head again. You're right, Balina. Drag does help people. Art helps people. Not just people watching, but the artists who create it. It's truly magic. Like all of you performers, you guys are magic. And I can't thank you enough for being here again. Okay. You're welcome. Balina. My last question is an easy one. Tell us about Balina Canto. Is she a character you created, or is there something more to her? Also explain to us, what is your goal when it comes to drag? Like, what's your end game here?
Yeah. So Balina Canto, I did kind of create a character and a backstory. I say that she's my like little tagline is the song wielding siren with a voice snatched for the gods. Although I love the one with the heart of gold. I might have to add that to there and like steal it. It's really sweet. But my thing is that Balina is from like an Italian island, and she was singing, and a humpback whale came, and she hopped on, and it carried her off to Philadelphia, where she now resides. And she loves her home because they have water ice, which is very soothing for a singer's throat. That's like the little bio I always give people.
It's very realistic.
Yeah. But really, Belena's just an extension of who I am already. I don't really necessarily see her as a separate thing. It's just like a heightened version of myself. To be honest, I definitely feel like in life, I identify as gender fluid, queer, probably. I'm still figuring it all out. It was kind of something that I started to really embrace actually over quarantine, as I think a lot of us have discovered things about ourselves now that we have all this time to just kind of sit there and think. But yeah, I mean, I definitely feel much more of a feminine energy in my soul, if that makes any sense. So it's just kind of like an extension of me. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, we are so super excited to see everything that you have coming forward because you're super talented. And you know, Balina, you're every bit of amazing as you can be. And I love you so much. How about you tell everyone where they can find you on social media and any upcoming projects that people can see you in or at?
Sure. So on Facebook, you can follow me at Balina Canto. And then on Instagram and Twitter, it's at Mateo Sings, MatteoSings. Tomorrow, I have a show called Opera on Tap, and that's with a wonderful group of local Philly opera singers, and I'm doing a number as Balina with them. The theme is objects, so it's all arias and duets and things about that are centered around inanimate objects. So that's the thing I'm doing, and it'll be fun. It's a lot of amazing singers. You can find all the info for that on my socials. And then my upcoming variety show this month, it's actually the second Friday because of the holiday. So it's the 9th at 7:30 on the Strings and Things Facebook network. And then other than that, I don't know. I have stuff, but it's not out yet, but just keep watching and
keep tuning in.
Yes.
Tuning in.
Yeah, she got stuff, but she ain't ready for the release of it all yet. Here we go. Well, Balina, you are fantastic. Her Venmo has been scrolling, and it will continue to scroll all through the upcoming number that she submitted. Show her some love and enjoy the fantastic Balina Canto. Now, before I do my tagline, hit it, and Morgan plays this fantastic video, we have some amazing divas and performers on our show tonight. So, of course, the numbers they submitted aren't anything less than absolutely fantastic and maybe a little bit modern, maybe a little bit too modern for the Facebook censors. So, if something happens and we get kicked off because of whatever reason, you just go right back to the Positivity page and we will have a live ripping raring to go. So just keep your pants on and we'll be right back for you if anything happens. But I'm very hopeful that it won't because Balina is fantastic, as are all our performers tonight. Morgan, are you ready to hit that track?
I'm so ready for this.
Hit it!
Got it.
There's a hero. If you look inside your cart, the tzatziki, I'm afraid, will make me fart. There's an answer. Take activated charcoal, and the gases that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along, gives you strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when the sandwich is all gone, you've inhaled a hostess ding-dong, then you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. When you face hunger alone, no one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you reach inside your shelf, and that emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along, gives you strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when your sandwich is all gone, you've inhaled a hostess ding-dong, then you finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. Lord knows beans are hard to swallow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Just hold on for that buffet tomorrow. It's prime time for a brunch game. And then a hero comes along, gives you strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when your sandwich is all gone, you've inhaled that hostess ding-dong, then you'll finally see the truth, that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in you.
Oh my goodness. I love that. And that hero is delicious looking. I'll tell you that much, babe.
I was so happy when you finally got to eat. That was
I know, right?
I was rooting
All
for you
about
the
the
whole time.
teas.
I was rooting. I was like,
yummy. It looks so yummy.
Those burlesque tactics.
That's fantastic. Well, it made me laugh and hungry. And that, I mean, what else do you want out of your drag, honestly?
Right?
Great job, Balina. Thank you so much.
Thank
Let's
you.
move on to our next guest. Yes, she's the queen that hopes to make you laugh, make you cry, and possibly make you cringe a little. She's the international queen, known, thanks to that one gig in Montreal, Canada. It's the amazing, artistic Ophelia Hotass.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Hey, Ophelia. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You and I know each other in the real world, and I've always wanted to tell you that I've always thought you were everything anyone ever wanted when it comes to the world of drag. Just between me and you, girl.
Stop! Just kidding. Keep going.
Yes, I can keep going. So it's really an honor. With that said, let's just jump right in. Let's jump back to about 6 or 7 years ago. Tell me about when Kiki Lime Pie was present. And is there any part of Kiki in the Queen Ophelia that we all love today?
Absolutely none. Like, that woman was like, she was like a housewifey type person, and Ophelia is everything but that. So yes, Kiki is dead. She's dead and buried in my backyard in Westchester.
Well, what's one good thing that you loved about Kiki before you buried her in that ground?
The color lime, obviously.
Well, here we go.
She's a lace front wig. That's about it.
All right. Well, we all love Ophelia Hotass. as the way you are. And your look and character is amazing, bold, and over the top. In your pre-interview, you stated a fun fact. You practiced makeup and mastered your technique for about a year before hitting the stage. You also stated that you started drag because you very much wanted to be a drag queen versus a female impersonator. In your opinion, what is the difference between the two?
So, that's a tough question. So, like, for me, like, I really focus on that kind of like clowny, over the top extremisms. And I mean, I think that female impersonation can be both. But for me, I think drag, like, female impersonation, it's more of an illusion. And like, I don't think that I have, like, if you look at me, you know, I'm not a woman. And I think that's kind of where that female impersonation kind of doesn't work well, just with my like aesthetic and kind of who I am. Because yeah, like you look at me and you're like, that's a sexy clown.
Yes, well, you sure are sexy. Now, your look, according to you, was always based around glam, but in true Ophelia style, it's glam with a twist. Yes. And over the last 3 or 4 years, you've really established that look that we're talking about, and it's truly all your own. Tell us some of your biggest obstacles, and what have you done to overcome those obstacles, creating the Ophelia that we see today?
So it's just a lot of trial and error. I mean, I tell kind of everybody who ever asks me about like makeup, I'm not a makeup artist. Like I am self-taught. I've been doing this like you said, for 6 years. But it was all just, I learned how to do makeup by watching YouTube. Like I literally would watch YouTube videos, learn how to do makeup. I learned how to do like my generic face, like a generic like drag face. And then I just took that and I flipped it on its head and kind of turned it into what you see here. And like, it's just, I tell like anybody who asks me about makeup, when you're doing your face, do something different every single time you do your makeup, because you're going to do something different and you're going to be like, oh, that actually works, or it looks better, or like, oh, that was terrible, I'm never doing that again. Yeah. But you learn new techniques, you learn how to do things faster, you get like tips and tricks, and like, it's just, it helps evolve your face, so you're not kind of just doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, you're one of those special queens that that really just shine with your look. But not only that, you're a queen that has made drag into a business, right? Tell us about Double O Sexy and how did it start, and what does Double O Sexy entail?
So Double O Sexy was like literally kind of a happy accident. Onyx Black and I became really close friends. She became my drag daughter, and we were just wearing these like just crazy insane wigs, and I wanted to be able to make those, available for everybody, at like reasonable prices, because I'm a cheap queen. I don't like to spend a lot of money, okay? And it's not because I'm Jewish. I'm just cheap, okay? But
You don't look cheap, though. You don't look cheap at all.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make some wigs and have some fun and make some costumes. I wanted to share the things that I was able to take and learn and teach myself to do, and kind of just make them available to everybody else.
Yeah. Well, with that, you created that as a full-time gig, and you're a full-time gal on the go doing the drag stuff. You've turned your unbelievable talents with wig styling and sewing into a substantial business in these difficult times too. What came first, the hair or the sewing? And did you do that out of genuine love, or I think you kind of mentioned that, you also help subside some of the costs of drag too?
Yeah, so I mean, to be very honest, so the sewing came first because I was doing this little drag competition in Philadelphia that everyone knows called Drag Wars. Zaphira was in there with me. She sent me home. It was great. But yeah, so I was doing this competition, and like I had been doing drag for literally 6 months, I think. So I had nothing. I didn't have drag to like, to fulfill all these themes and stuff that we had to do. So I went out, I bought a sewing machine that was the size of like, it was literally this big. And I was making costumes on this child's sewing machine for Drag Wars, like trying to like figure stuff out. And it just kind of evolved because I was able to realize that like I can do these things for myself, and I'm crazy where like I, for some reason, think that I have trouble asking for help. So I do these things because I feel like nobody's gonna be able to do them like to my liking, the way that I want it to be done. And that's just me being crazy.
Be
but that's
specific.
how to sew, and like the wigs kind of came with it. I'm telling you, I've been styling wigs since I started doing drag, but they looked like ass until about like 2 or 3 years ago. It's hard. Hair is hard to work with.
Yeah.
So it's just trial and error.
That's amazing. This is all really amazing stuff, which is fitting because I think you're an amazing queen, to be honest. I want to talk about something that you and I have in common. I am also in a long-term relationship, and you are in a 10-year long-term and very serious relationship.
Way to rub it in, Tom. Way to rub it in.
Morgan, sorry. How valuable is the support that only a partner can give? And was he always 100% on board with this little drag adventure we see before us?
So Mr. Hotass has always been my #1 fan, but Mr. Hotass was not always DTF with the drag. That came out weird. Mr. Hotass was not always 100% into the drag because it's just like this. He's a very private person, and this is not private at all. Like, when I walk out of the house looking like this, heads will turn. So it's something that he's kind of, he has come to terms with, but it's still like a small point of contention because, like I said, I bring this attention that he doesn't necessarily want. But he loves it. He knows that this is like a passion. This is my art. He's also an artist, so he is the most supportive person in my life, and I would be nowhere without him.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, you're Mr. Hotass, and my hashtag poor Todd should go bowling because they have a lot in common, honey. Just so you know.
So I'll tell you that he's a terrible bowler.
Before we get to the amazing submission, I just want to say I learned that your aesthetic is heavily inspired by pop culture, the 90s club kid scene, and from the looks of it, you're a very avant-garde queen. Would you say a major key to your success is staying true to yourself?
Oh, 100%. I mean, being able to be authentically who I am. First of all, Ophelia Hotass made me be who I am able to be. Ophelia gave Matt the confidence to be more feminine, more outgoing, just more gay, really, being okay with being gay. I came out when I was 22, and Ophelia came around, I guess, when I was 26, and it was just like this explosion of color and just big things,
Yeah.
I take inspiration from just kind of anything that I see. Obviously, today I'm giving you some plant vibes. I have my plants all around me, my babies, which I decided to become a plant mother during quarantine.
Well, mazel tov on that.
Right?
What advice would you give newer queens starting out to possibly save them at least one annoying hurdle?
Practice. Honestly, that's the only thing I can say is practice. Because like I said, like you said, I practiced doing makeup for literally a year or maybe even more before I ever stepped foot on a stage. And as soon as listen, I'm not the best performer. I will say it. I can't do the high kicks and I can't do the splits. I got a nice mid-range kick, but can't get it too high. but when I stepped out on that stage for the first time, I looked pretty presentable. So that's my advice is practice, because you're only going to get better by practicing, and practice hard, practice daily. I'm pretty sure I did my makeup every single week for an entire year. For nobody but me.
Twice a week, right? Twice a week for almost 6 months, right at the beginning, right? Because you were doing the other show. And
as soon as I started doing, because I had obtained a show in Westchester that I was doing with Roxanne Rolls. So when I first started doing drag, I was literally doing drag every single week, which was a huge boost for me because I was at end, and then I started doing drag wars literally 6 months in. So I was doing drag twice a week at that point. So it was just this oversaturation of drag that kind of helped me kind of jumpstart my career as a drag queen.
Yeah. Well, we love you so much, and thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I also want to mention that it's just a little take home from the interview that we did before and this one tonight. I just love how you've always been true to who you are, and you were trying to always break through for you and what you want. And I think that's a lesson to be learned for a lot of newer queens or even seasoned queens that just, you know, be yourself, because the point of doing what we're doing is to be artistic and just freaking have a good time with what you want to do. And I think this is a great panel that really shows everyone's doing their own jam, and I just think it's awesome. So, but yeah,
I totally agree with you. I mean, like, doing drag for you is going to make it so much more enjoyable, and like, just it's going to emphasize your art, and rather than, you know, kind of what you see maybe all over Instagram or somewhere else.
Exactly. Well, thank you again. We can't thank you enough for being here tonight. You are really fantastic. And for those viewers that may not know already, where can people find you on social media and stuff like that?
My Instagram is at Ophelia_Hotass. That's OPHELIA_HOTASS. Yes. And I'm on like Facebook and Twitter and just like Ophelia Hotass.
Yes, well, everyone, please take note of the Venmo that has been scrolling and will continue to scroll. I suggest you tip this queen or she will haunt your dreams. Yes, I'm really excited about this number, but just a reminder, if anything goes haywire, you go right over to the Positivity page and we will take care of everything. So just hang tight. Morgan, are you ready to hit it?
I'm ready. And you know what? Those 11 viewers that are watching right now, make sure you hit that share button, because the more people we bring in, the more positivity we can spill. All right, Dominique, I am now ready.
Okay, then hit it.
Got it.
Hallucinate when you call my name. Got stars in my Wanna be right where you are. Let's go dancing in the dark. Don't wait, you can push the start. Lose control. Kill me slowly with your kiss. Wrap me around your fingertips. Damn, I need another hit. Make me lose my mind. Hallucinate when you call my name. Got stars in my eyes, and they don't fade when you come my way. I'm losing my mind. Hallucinate when you call my name. Got stars in my eyes.
That was excellent. Thank you again so much. You are awesome. That was an awesome video too. I liked it when it went from the black to white. That was really cool. Like I thought it was a picture and then it was like not. So anyway, so moving right along, she's the old school queen that gives you the new school camp and glamour for your nerves. It's the always picture perfect Zaphira.
Hi. Yes. Hi, Zaphira. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you. You look beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me and having all of us.
Of course. It's our pleasure. It's fun finding out little fun things that you never knew about, people that you've been working with for so long. So that brings us to our interview, and I'm very excited. You discovered drag around 2011, and around 2013, you discovered your college had a fun little drag show. So you entered it under the name Anastasia Belladonna, honey. Yes.
No.
Yeah, we got sources, honey. Just a
No, you made me younger, and that ain't me.
Oh.
I was in the audience in 2008 or 9 and saw Anastasia.
Hey, look, take it from someone my age. When someone mistakenly gets you younger, you run with it. Can I continue with the interview, please? No, just kidding.
No, but Anastasia was my inspiration. She was she did a Beyonce number, and I was like, oh, she's tall, she's thin, she's black, she's beautiful. That could be me.
It is you, honey. I'll tell you that right now. It turned out to be you. It was then and there that the power of drag intoxicated you, and you realized this is exactly what you want to do. So you just told us about that. Look, so she was your first drag inspiration. Did you transfer some of her characteristics into the drag queen that is Zaphira today?
I think now, I wouldn't say when I started, but I think my confidence on stage now is what she embodied. I think that's what carried over, because I'm a nervous wreck before I perform every single time. It doesn't matter for how many people. It could be one person, it could be 3,000. I'm always a nervous wreck. I always think I don't know my words. I always think it's going to be disastrous. But the second I step on the stage, a switch turns on, and it's just confidence, overflowing.
Yeah.
And then the second I'm off stage, it's did I do okay?
Well,
which is
just so you know, every time I see you, you do more than okay. You're absolutely phenomenal. Speaking of which, let's talk resumes for a minute. People at home, please get comfortable. This may take a minute. Before the pandemic, you were a gayborhood staple. Of course, everyone knows that you are a former Miss Taboo. You appeared basically everywhere fine drag was seen. During quarantine, you participated in digital shows such as Drag Survivor and the fabulous Black Girl Magic Show a few times, plus a couple private performances at selected online events, just to name a few. Phew. Okay, thank you, everybody. That's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for coming. No,
you forgot Drag Wars winner, too.
I most certainly did not. That is my next fun fact. The next line in my script, thank you very much, is plus, let us not forget you are a Drag Wars winner. Hello. Yeah. Now that things are coming back safely as possible, what are some of the great things that you have planned for the future? And what are your feelings about digital drag versus live drag?
So we'll start with the positives because this is Positivity. So coming up, you can find me tomorrow at Taboo for Devil Drag, hosted by me. On Saturday, I'm at Crimson Moon. On Mondays and Tuesdays every week, I do trivia on Mondays. I do bingo on Tuesdays. You can find me every first Sunday of the month for A to Zaphira. You can find me with Ophelia Hotass, doing the Saturdays with her down at Crimson Moon. You can find me with Cali Couture in New Jersey at Cherry Hill, doing Vixen Zaphira. You can just find me literally anywhere in the tri-state area, I guess, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, and I will be serving it to you. We have Barbie Brunch coming up at Vera on April 11th. You can find me in Wilmington for Drag Diva Brunch with Bird Events. I am booked and busy, baby.
Yeah,
baby girl.
The phone calendar doesn't work for me. I had to get like a little traditional planner because I cannot keep up otherwise.
Yeah, come on, file of facts. Yeah.
Hallmark has the best little book that you could just get it for free. I love Hallmark's little calendar books. It's great.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's amazing. Congratulations on that. They could like I love a queen that is not afraid of a little work. And honey, with a schedule like that, you have a lot of work ahead of you. So best of luck. So about digital drag, is it as bad as everyone thinks it is, or do you enjoy it a little bit?
What I enjoy about digital drag is that it gives me a chance to kind of give I'm no videographer, so it's not going to be exactly what's in my head, but it gives me a chance to give something that's different than what I would give you in person, because I can double, triple myself if I want, sing to myself, I can walk on the street, I can do all those things. But with that said, it's a lot of work. So even just sitting in front of a camera like this and doing a video like this, not live, but like to prepare something, could take up to 8 hours, because you got to edit, make sure the music matches, you got to get ready, you got to do this, you got to compress the video, you got to send it off, you got to make sure it's small enough to send it an email, you got to do all these things, and it's just a lot of work, and I don't have time for all of that all the time. So I prefer to be live because I need to make the money because I have bills, and at the beginning virtual drag was given that, but it's not, so I had to make moves to Well,
that's what you do. Smart cookie. You know, speaking of bills, that brings me to my next question. Your life out of drag is quite interesting as well. Not only are you a beautiful and serious about drag and your craft, but your 9 to 5 is very serious stuff. Why don't you explain to the people at home what you do for a living when you're not in gorgeousness and neon and beautifulness?
So I am a licensed damage appraiser for the state of Pennsylvania. So if you get in a car accident, baby, I'm looking at your car and telling you it's a total loss. Don't hate me. So I can tell you about car parts. I go up into body shops and I'm real butch. Like, what's up, man? I'm here to look at that radiator. Like, that's what I do while I have glitter stuck on my face from the night before.
Drag.
But it's not a passion, but like, it's what I do. It's what pays the bills, and it's not horrible. And my company is great. They treat me well. So, and I get a car to drive around, so I don't have to put miles on my own.
Right on.
Yes, come on.
Well, yes. Well, Zaphira, you are a truly fabulous person inside and out, and I think we all can agree. You're very real and true to yourself, and that is totally translatable from the real life you live during the day and the fabulous creature that you become at nighttime, and we see you shine, shine, shine. So what's the goal? What's the dream with what you do as an artist, and what has been working for you so far?
My goal ever since I saw Anastasia back all those years ago, all I wanted to do was drag. Like, I was in college, I took advertising, I took public relations, and in public relations, like, I was really interested into like event planning, and I feel like I could make this a full-time gigaroony at some point in time if I mix kind of that and the drag, what it takes behind the scenes, the business of drag. That's kind of what I want to do. Like, is Drag Race a goal? obviously, but is that my only aspiration? Is that my main aspiration? Absolutely not, because this is what I want to do. I want to do it for a long time. Fame comes and goes, but like being true to yourself and working for yourself and being proud of yourself is more important to me.
I love that.
Than the fame. But I do want to be on a big stage, bitch. I need attention.
You deserve it too. And you know what, Zaphira, you are literally everything I want to be when it comes to drag, baby. The costumes, the beauty, the talent, the pride, and your outgoing personality. What is one of the biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome in your art drag career, we'll say?
That's hard. I have gone through a lot. But it's really trying to stay true to myself and not getting sucked up into the drama of it all and letting that affect my personality, because it's happened to us all where we get sucked into things that we probably shouldn't pay attention to. And but the only thing you can do when that happens and to overcome that is to recognize it within yourself. And then if you've hurt other people, be willing to have a conversation with that person. If they're not willing to have that conversation with you, take a step back, because you know where you've come and you know who you are. And it took me a long time to get there with myself and to realize that I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and things that I've done in the past are harmful, but I know who I am now, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know that I'm a good person, and that's all I can do. And I am the person for everybody out there. If you think there's an issue with me, come to me, because I'll be the first person to talk to you and tell you how I feel and give it to you real, and then we can move forward from there.
And I think that's the biggest thing too. It's all about communication. And I think that some people are just scared to have that communicative conversation. But you know what? It alleviates a lot of excess baggage and drama later on if you just have a conversation and communicate. So I love that. And I thank you for sharing that. And also I want to mention that the glow up is real with you too. Like I'm living for your looks, and
thank you.
Just anywho. But you know what, Zaphira, thank you so much for your time and your efforts, not just for this show, but everything you do in our community and the world of drag. Where can people find you on social media? And do you have any final thoughts for our vast viewing audience? And by the way, if you haven't yet, share this video so we can have more people come in.
You can find me. You can find me at the Lady Zaphira. That's Zephyra. Zaphira doesn't look like it sounds, but baby, it's my name. But I'm on Twitter. You might not like what you see on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Not my body. I like things.
Let me quickly find what we're talking about.
And I mean, you can find, I have a Facebook follow page, but you can just add me as Taylor Robinson. I'm the cute one in the Grand Canyon.
You are cute.
Zaphira, I actually have one more question for you. My old eye skipped over it because the type is so small in my script, so I do apologize. With your schedule filling up and everything that you do with your stressful job, and I just think it's important in this time, what do you do for self-care? Are there any go-to remedies or anything like that for you?
So I just re-downloaded World of Warcraft like 2 weeks ago. I played it from like 2005 to like 2011, and then right before I moved to Philly, I re-downloaded it, but then I stopped. But I started playing again, baby, because when I have time off, that's what I'm doing. I don't care. I will fight some monsters and be unapologetic about it. So catch me in Azeroth. How about that?
Yes, yes. I absolutely love that. Well, congratulations on everything. I really wish you nothing but success. Like Ophelia said, that I absolutely agree with. I love a queen that works really hard, that knows to practice to get their craft right, and that is something that everybody on this panel tonight has done. So I am just super impressed with absolutely everybody, and I really seriously love everyone here. Her Venmo has been scrolling. You've seen her sit there looking lovely. Now enjoy her in motion. I'm so excited for this number. Please welcome and tip the lovely Zaphira. But wait, Morgan, you know what I'm going to say. Why don't you say it this time so they hear it from somebody else?
What I would love to, because I could probably repeat exactly what you're saying, because it is very important. If we get booted off because these lovelies have picked some hot, fabulous numbers, make sure you check out and see if we're getting booted off. If we get booted off, don't worry. We have another round ready to go. And you go to any one of our Facebook pages and we'll have that live stream posted again. But we are going to give you Zaphira, and she is not going to get us booted off because she looks gorgeous in this video.
Gorgeous.
So,
Morgan, hit it.
got it.
I remember years ago, someone told me I should take caution when it comes to love. I did, and you were strong and I was not. My illusion, my mistake. I was careless, I forgot I did. And now, when all is done, there is nothing to say. You have gone there so effortlessly. You have won, you can go ahead, tell them all I know now. Shout it from the rooftops, write it on the skyline. All we had is gold now. Tell them I was happy and my heart is broken. All my scars are open. Tell them what I hoped would be impossible. Love is hard, falling for betrayal is worse. Broken trust and broken hearts. I know, thinking all you need is there. Building faith on love and words. Empty promises will wear. I know. And now, when all is gone, there is nothing to say. And if you're done with embarrassing me, on your own you can go ahead, tell them all I know now. Shout it from the rooftops, write it on the skyline. All we had is gone now. Tell them I was happy and my heart is broken. All my scars are open. Tell them what I hoped would be impossible. Someone told me I should take caution when it comes to love. I did. Tell them all I know now. Shout it from the rooftops, write it on the skyline. All we had is gone now. Tell them I was happy and my heart is broken. All my scars are open. Tell them what I hope would be impossible. Someone told me I should take caution when it comes to love. I did.
She sure did. You get the lip sync, honey. Your lip. Oh,
that was DRAG drag, honey. Yeah.
It breathes me too much.
That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Now, last but certainly not least, we have in drag, she is the spotlight, and she is unapologetic for that. And rightfully so. Her motto in life is, we were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth. for a reason. So let's spend some time listening to the award-winning national pageant participant. It's the fabulous Cali Couture.
Hello, hi.
Oh my goodness, Cali, it is so great to have you with us tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. And also, can we just take 1 second to just appreciate Balina and Ophelia and Zaphira, because each one of them are so bleep talented. Like they're just all so unique and so awesome, you know?
Yeah,
well, don't take yourself out of that mix too, hon.
Yeah, absolutely. You are in this panel for a reason. Just like I said about Zaphira's number, everybody on this panel is DRAG drag, honey. And that is why you are here. Absolutely wonderful. Cali, we have a lot to cover with you. So let me just run through some fun facts that our resourceful sources have dug up about you. Don't worry, it's nothing bad. You've been a performer as long as you can remember, but got super serious about it your junior year in high school when your school announced they were doing the production of 42nd Street. And that is where you took your first and only dance lesson. That I find very hard to believe. But let me continue. Yeah. But through a lot of practicing tap on a piece of plywood in your garage, you got the part. Shortly after that, your college was doing the musical Rent. And you wanted the part of Angel, and you got it. And that was one of your first drag experiences. How exciting was that experience? Not only are you doing every college theater kid at the time favorite musical, but you're in drag for the first time. That's amazing. Tell us about that.
Oh boy. So that experience in itself was wild. So being a theater kid, a theater nerd, obviously like the house down boots in high school, you know, was gunning for that theater club president spot, but way too annoying at the time to get that. So vice president will suffice. When I heard that, you know, they wanted to do Rent, I jumped at the opportunity and said, let me be Angel. And they told me you have to be in drag. And I was like, sure, let's do it. Because I thought drag is like the wigs and the makeup. I didn't know about the tucking and the padding and the foot cramps after only 5 minutes in high heels.
Yes.
So it happened. The night happened. It was my, you know, big time to shine for today for you, tomorrow for me. Fell flat on my face.
Oh no.
That's okay though. You get back up, and everyone there was super supportive, super, you know, kind, and just that attention and that fun, you know, like drag for me is theater, it's camp, it's, you know, the glitz and glam, it's the whole different persona, yet still the same person, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just that unlocked, unhinged, and unapologetic version of myself that came out that night and has not stopped since.
Well, we're very thankful that it has not. Okay, so there you are, bitten by the drag bug. You're very excited. You're in love with the glitz and the glam, like you said. However, instead of diving right in, you took a real thought out and modest approach and spent the next bit of time just going to different shows and watching and learning from a variety of spectacular and diverse queens. Finally, you felt the stars were aligned and the time was right. So you started your journey and Cali Couture was born. Cali Couture, what the hell? Explain. What's that about?
Oh, okay. So I am a nerd through and through, especially when it comes to my passion, which is teaching. So when I was first starting drag, I was in college, and I needed to come up with a good drag name.
Yeah,
so the one and only girlfriend that I had in high school, her first name was Callie. So I decided to steal her name and become the prettier version. Hello. And then Gotsky was actually short for Vygotsky, Lev Vygotsky, who is my favorite teacher philosopher. And he developed and inherited the zone of proximal development, which means do things that aren't too difficult and out of your range, but don't do things that are too easy. That was his, philosophy. And I wanted to do that with drag. I didn't want to ever be comfortable or complacent, but I wanted to make sure that I would never bite off more than I could chew.
Yeah. Well, all right, Smarty Pants. I named myself after my favorite aunt, and Morgan named herself because she's vain and likes the sound of her own name. That's a very interesting story. Congratulations on that. When did you make this? When did you make the switch to Cali Couture?
Oh boy, so I did a local. At the time, it was local in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, local competition. And it was Harrisburg Drag Race, and I was actually competing against some all-stars who were in the cast as well. One being this queen who is very, very, very femme-looking, very, very female illusion presenting, Katarina Couture. And one of the head judges who won the season prior, it was Desiree Couture, my drag mother. So I went through the competition with Katarina Couture, the contestant, painting me. Now, if that doesn't tell you something about selflessness, I don't know what does. You know, like it takes so much selflessness to compete, but also be willing to paint one of your competitors. Yeah. I just thought that was so cool. And, you know, that whole and the entire Couture family up in Harrisburg, they are very grounded, very just real. They'll talk to you. They don't care if they're wearing jeans or if they're wearing an $8,000 gown. They're still going to give you a presentation. They're still going to give you a show. And they're going to talk to you after the show and kiki it like you're their best friend. And that's what drove me to, you know, really want to impress Desiree. And the final night, I did not win the crown, but I won my last name. And that was more than, you know, a prize money.
Priceless.
You fit right in with that family if that's that family's credo, honey, just so you know, because you are everything to me, just so you know. But let's fast forward a little bit to your first Philly appearance, and that was at Drag Arena. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh, all right. And then eventually you were given your first show by Philadelphia legend Iris Spector. Tell us about that time and experience. Because you started drag with no real support system other than you and your partner. Is that true?
You're right. So when I first started drag in Philadelphia, people knew of me,
of course,
but people didn't know me. So I was doing a lot of, you know, guest spots here and there. I feel like when I started, it was a different time of drag. I feel like drag is much more accessible now than when I started. So when I started, I was rocking the natural brows. I was rocking that natural lace line too. Yikes. But I was not the queen that I am today. But I was doing a lot of, you know, working and networking. So I would show up to bars and I would work for RuPaul Drag Race Queens for 2 drink tickets, working a meet and greet line. I would put in my time and my energy to get noticed that way and to do that kind of, you know, that networking and that, you know, that reaching out. So I did my time and, you know, it made me more humble of, you know, having to work hard to get a name. Names, you might create your name, but names are not given. You know, names you really need to work for, and you need to keep working hard to maintain them too.
Yeah. Well, you're obviously someone heavily inspired by art and cosplay. You're big on dance and love Vogue techniques. You're a queen that loves a theatrical number and big on big production and old school styles. Your past awards and achievements started off at a rocky start, but looking back, a hysterical road. You placed second at the Northeast Comedy Queen pageant, which is fantastic, till you found out there was only 2 contestants. So congrats. You got third on Drag Race, Harrisburg's Drag Race. However, then you moved to Philly and got 3rd place in Drag Wars here in Philadelphia, where you did Kathy Griffin's number and then heard from Kathy Griffin. We were dying to know and want to hear about that experience with Kathy Griffin.
It was wild. So if you know me, you know that I am very, you know, mellow, very mild, very bland personality. Just kidding. Clearly I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So what happened was, it was like we had to recreate famous pictures. And I had the one of Kathy Griffin holding a person's head. Say no more. So I had to recreate a number based on that picture.
Yeah.
So I did Kathy Griffin, the house down boots, like painted dark circles, looked exactly like her, frizzy ass hair. I love her, but you know, God bless. And yeah, I had a really good time with that performance. It was very different from my brand. Well, I'm getting ready for the following week's show, and I get a message from Kathy Griffin on Instagram, and she shared my post, and then she also asked if I could send her my number. I get a call from a restricted number, and it's her. Honestly, don't really remember much from the conversation, totally blacked out. So of course, subtle and very, you know, level-headed me decides to get on Facebook Live, and the entire time just doing hot laps in my house, screaming, "Oh my God, you guys, oh my God," you know, as the very, you know, like melodramatic me. So it was an incredible moment, you know, like to be recognized by a person who has, you know, more followers than I have hair on my head. It's wild, you know, it's absolutely wild.
Yeah. Well, that's really, really super exciting. And congrats to that again, obviously, and with everything else that we discussed. Now, continuing on with your many titles and accomplishments, in 2019, you won Miss Gay Philadelphia, then off to Nationals, where you won Male Interview and Overall Talent, which is a big congratulations. And I'll stop right there and say congratulations. And I saw the number, stunning and amazing and awesome. But you placed 7th this time out of 37. So congrats to that as well. Tell us about that whole experience.
You know, it's just wild. So my first start of pageantry was Comedy Queen. And I learned really quick that I'm funny to look at, but I am not funny. So, so going into Miss Gay Philadelphia, I didn't really know much about the system, even though I've watched it for so long. It's completely different when you go into a pageant system. So I've seen people come out of Pennsylvania going to nationals, and I never really felt like I was them. Like, yes, I'm very glitz glam. Yes, I enjoy kicking and bucking, but like my passion is cosplay, and like give me a character and I'm playing with it. So I wanted to, if I were to run for America, this is what I was thinking, I'm going to do it my way. So I had this idea to take a character from Fantastic Beasts during the 1920s, and even though it's like unconventional to do like cosplay per se, I dragged up that character and did that for my talent at Miss Gay Philadelphia. And I competed against the Lady E, who, if y'all don't know who Lady E is, please go on social media and look up Lady E, because she's absolutely fabulous. Amazing. She's one of my closest sisters. I love her to death. But she and I both got to move on to states. So at the time when I started Miss Gay Philadelphia, I did not think that it was going to go to the level that it did. So I competed for my city and won my city, which meant that I got to move on to my state preliminary. When I was at my state preliminary, that's where I won Male Interview. And even though I didn't snatch the crown, I got second. So I got to go to nationals, which was awesome. So I took my team of backup dancers. I took my, you know, makeup artist, Aloe Vera. I took my drag manager, Fancy Dismount Stratton. And we went to Kansas City, Missouri. And let me tell you, that experience was life-changing completely. It was fun. I was expecting like, oh, you know, like make sure to cross your T's and dot your I's. It was not that. It was just so enjoyable. The formers were incredible. They were so much fun to hang out with. Things were very laxed, very low key. And then, you know, like pulling off winning in my group talent, you know, overall, that's wild in itself, because that's never happened from Pennsylvania. But then also too, to place 5th in talent overall on final night, like shout out to my boys because I have to. Frankie Markaki, if y'all ever need a pageant like person to put talent together, Frankie Markaki, Iris's boyfriend, is absolutely genius when it comes to art.
Together, sure does.
Exactly. So yeah, that was my experience. It was just so much fun. It was so cool to network with people all across the country, all different backgrounds, all different creeds, all different ethnicity, all different levels of drag. It was a really neat experience. And I cannot wait to go back and get my crown that I left at Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
Keep being true to yourself, because that's that theme that we've been going through tonight. Be true to yourself, and I'm sure you're going to get that freaking crown, babe.
Mm-hmm.
So digitally, you participated in the Ladies of Lansdale, but for the most part, you've kept your head down, creating and sewing, plus working your day job. I understand you started off as a teacher, but now you're a teacher of teachers. Tell us about that, and tell us how difficult it is to keep those two worlds separate.
So, teaching is usually very, looked upon as you need to be professional through and through. So, I got a promotion this year to become like a content lead for my school. So I'm now the math lead for K-2. I'm taking on K-4 next year as the math coach, instructional coach for the building. So I transitioned from teaching students to teaching teachers, which is just like a completely different ball game. It's one thing to teach little kids. It is a whole different ball game to teach adults. So it's also really difficult, as you said, Morgan, to balance drag and to balance, work and all the other things that happen in life. So what I try to do, especially when I'm in drag, is I try not to shift myself too much. I try to keep whatever energy that you get from me as a leader in my building. That's the energy that you're going to get as a drag queen, maybe with a few more explicatives, but also maybe with a few more, having fun adult juices. But at the end of the day, though, like, drag has presented itself in a way to be a leader. So why not be a leader during my occupation, and also a leader during, when I'm dressed up, and rhinestone for the gods.
And the gods, which you're doing rhinestone giggies right now, right?
Yeah, so that's another thing that I'm doing on top of teaching and doing drag and getting my master's currently.
Add it to the list.
I'm also literally don't even have time to breathe. I'm also taking on rhinestone commissions for queens, which is super fun.
And she does an incredible job.
Might have done a thing or two for Miss Zaphira Rivers.
Yeah.
But, I provide super affordable rhinestones, all different kinds, and super affordable labor as well. So it'll fit any budget, literally from $30 to $40, the whole way up to like $1,000. So
right on.
Yeah.
Aww. Well, Cali, thank you so much for being with us tonight. You just talked about it. Where can people find, how can people commission you? Do you have a website? Would you rather people go through your social media?
Slip in the DM.
If you are interested in supporting local business, you can go to CaliCouture.com for my merchandise, which is made from a local queen, Haley Hemorrhoid. She does all of the like production to shipping to everything. So not only are you supporting me, but you're also supporting another local queen. When it comes to bookings and shows, I was actually just polishing off my pair of ruby slippers because for Mother's Day, you can catch me and Zaphira Rivers in the Wizard of Oz production. It is a hybrid between a theater performance as well as a drag show. It's going to be on Mother's Day at Vera. I perform a lot at Vera, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It's only 10 minutes away from Philadelphia. I'm also in Rehoboth. So if y'all are vaccinated or, socially distancing and want to catch me in Rehoboth, come see me at the Blue Moon. I'll be there. I'll be twirling. I'll be spinning. I'll be singing too. Bring your earplugs.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. And if you've never seen Cali Couture perform, then let me tell you what drag is. Drag, no, I'm just kidding. She absolutely, as all our performers are absolutely amazing. So whenever you can, check out their social medias and really get to know these amazing performers. The Venmo for Cali is down below. Show her some love, and let's see what makes a champion. I am not even going to waste my time or my breath telling people that if we get kicked off or booted from Facebook, all you have to do is go to the Positivi-TEA page, and we will have another live ready for you. I'm just going to skip.
And you know what? I'm not going to mention that if you're watching this and you haven't done it already, hit that share button because the show is not done yet.
Yeah,
so let's have positivity to everyone out there.
There's no need to mention any of that. Morgan, how about we just do this? Why don't you just hit it?
On it. Oh,
yeah. What can't you girls do? You all amazed me today. This was amazing.
Seriously, everybody did amazing tonight. I loved every single video tonight. Like,
yeah,
to die for.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Dominique? Should we do something even more fun?
Yeah, of course. I think we should play that new game that we totally invented just for this show.
Yes.
Well, hit that graphic.
Got it.
Yes. This is the Snap Cup game. It is very, very easy and very, very fun. All we do is one by one, we go around and we say, you pick one panelist and you give them a compliment, and then we move it along to the next person. Everybody will get covered, and feel free to comment the lovely Miss Morgan, and Dominique Lee, because it very rarely happens. So why don't we start with our fabulous queen number one. She remembers who she was. It's the lovely Balina Canto.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Cali. Cali was actually one of the first judges I ever had on like an open call show, and I just remember her being so kind, and she took the job of being a judge really seriously and gave so many wonderful compliments, but also constructive criticisms. And I, realizing it now, I'm sure it comes from her being an amazing teacher. So I really remember that as being a really awesome experience, and just feeling very appreciated. And she's also just really humble and super talented and gorgeous, as you all know. But just a lovely soul, and a teacher at heart, and just really made me feel as a newcomer very welcomed and very appreciated, and it was a wonderful experience. And also we did the Lansdale pageant together, and it was the first ever pageant I ever done, and I was all over the place backstage, and she helped me immensely when she didn't have to. So I was very blessed to have her, and yeah, it was just I just love you. You're wonderful. Thank you for being a wonderful artist and a wonderful sister. It's you don't always get that, and that's important. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we would go through the other panelists, but Balina took up all the time. Thanks, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go to the absolutely gorgeous and fantastic Miss Ophelia Hotass. What do you think, gorgeous? Who do you want to pick on today?
So I'm going to actually cheat a little bit and literally pick everybody, because I learned today on the show that all of you are so effing determined. Like, you put your heart and soul into your craft and your drag, and I find that so absolutely amazing. Just from hearing everyone's stories and from the start to where everyone is now, like, you just put in so much effort and so much time and dedication, and I think that's fantastic. So keep doing it and being your bad selves, because y'all.
Oh, that was beautiful. Let's go to the next queen, a queen that I'm sure is going to follow the rules. Thanks a lot, Ophelia. Let's go to the lovely Zaphira Rivers.
Well, I'm going to cheat in a different way. I'm going to go one by one. Sorry about it. Morgan, you have always been so warm and kind to me ever since the day I met you. So I really appreciate you for that. Dominique, your listening skills, we've had deep conversations together, and I always feel that you're engaged in listening, and I love that about you. It really means that you're a real person to me. Cali, over the past few months, I feel like we've gotten a lot closer, and I really appreciate the sisterhood that you bring to me, and the kind words and the encouragement, and the love that you bring to me, and I really appreciate that. I love you a lot. Ophelia, no, I'm kidding.
You have green hair.
Ophelia, I cannot thank you enough for what you've done. You probably don't know what you've done for me, but what you've done for me and my drag and me as a person. If I had never met you, I would not be where or who I am today. So I really appreciate everything that you've done for me. And then Balina, you're the one I know the least, but you are so warm, and you are so kind, and you are so humble, and I don't want you to ever lose that. I really appreciate that energy, because you don't get that a lot from new queens, the humble mostly. You don't get that a lot from new queens, so don't ever lose that, because that's going to take you far in whatever you want to do.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for all that. And last but certainly not least, Balina, I'm going to go back to you, but you got to promise to keep it short because everybody said lovely things about everybody, and I'm not going to leave you out. But we're going to jump right into this Cali Couture, and maybe she'll follow the rules unlike most of the people on the planet.
You know I'm not going to. Okay. Just as long as that's established.
That's fine. Go ahead.
All right.
What
So
am I
I'm
gonna
going to start with you, Balina. When I competed against you at Lansdale, that was the moment where I took a step back and I was like, oh, insert, whatever you want to do, insert beep. Yeah. Your talent is just ridiculous. You made people cry at that pageant in the audience because of your voice. And that raw talent alone mixed with that warmness, not just your blush, but also that warm personality. That warm personality. It's just, you're incredible. Ophelia, I heard that you were going to be on this show. And so that's why I was like, oh, let me show you this side. I was like, let's do some snake skin. Let's do some pattern up in the eye. You inspire people, including myself, to take risks and to be original, and you are a testament of don't get comfortable. Just keep getting more creative, like real tea. Zaphira, you are my sis. When things got very hot and heavy, you listened and you talked with me. Obviously, you were very real when it came to certain issues that, have happened in the past and, issues with climate and culture of this country. You and your leadership is just beyond commendable. And you are, and if not the example of Black excellence that I have in my life. I live for you. Morgan, what can I even say? You're my sis. You saw me with the natural brows. You're probably one of the few people who have seen Cali Gotsky in her full dish. Morgan, your humility and your passion for people is just astounding. And Dominique, I love, love, love that wig. That's all. I'm just kidding.
It's a Dusty Rose original. It's a Dusty Rose original.
T, you are just such a sweetheart and nothing short of just the biggest sweetheart. So live.
That's new. That's different. Thank you so much. Balina Canto, I would be amiss if I didn't give you a chance to speak. But let me tell you something. I'm on the wrong side of 40, Balina. I got a husband waiting for marital obligations, so keep it short, my love. Go ahead, my love. Go ahead.
So I covered Cali. I love her to death. Dominique, you were one of the first people I met coming into the Philadelphia scene, and you've been nothing but wonderful to me from day one, and also so real and so honest, and I've always appreciated that. And you've given me numbers of opportunities, and I can't thank you enough for all of that, and for being again a true sister. And you're also hysterical. I love your comedy. I love your artistry as a drag queen. I love how thorough you are and organized. Oh. You don't always get that, especially as like somebody who runs a show. It's really it helps everything run so smoothly, and I love that. So thank you for being you, Morgan. You've been nothing but sweet. All of the times I've talked to you and known you, also very real and so gorgeous. Oh my God, yeah. Love all of this. I could never do any of this. And super talented. I've also had you as a judge too a bunch of times, and I just remember you being so, again, like a teacher, and not just like saying, you're bad at this, giving constructive criticism.
I never said that about you, my darling. You're not
there. So sweet. Zaphira, you thank you for not like disowning me when I voted you off. Show.
If she didn't murder you for Drag Survivor, if she didn't murder me for Drag Survivor, you were in the clear. Let's be real for a second. Positivity aside, go ahead.
This is true. You're just, you're a fierce person, a fierce performer. I look up to you as a seasoned queen, and just as a role model, both as a drag queen and as a person. I admire your confidence and your beauty. Just everything about you is amazing, and you're like one of my icons here. And I love your I think I told you this before. I love your beauty marks. They're so you, and I love that little touch. Like it's like very.
Can I say something about my beauty marks? So Ophelia, a long time ago, gave me the advice: try something new every time you do your face. Well, I have 4 beauty marks. It's because I fucked up 4 different times, and I was like, "Ooh, I like it there."
It happens.
It's fun. No, it's fun how mistakes can turn into something usable.
Yeah, look at me. Yeah.
Period.
So you're saying you're usable, Dominique, right?
Well, I am married, honey. I gotta be used somehow, in some way. What do you have to say about the lovely Ophelia?
I don't know Ophelia very well, but I know of her. I've heard so many things. I mean, I know a lot more now, and I love, just from seeing your video, your uniqueness, and from what I've seen on social media, you have such a unique look, and very outside the box, and it's very like you see Ophelia, and it's very Ophelia, and I love that. Like I love the unique aspect, the makeup, and I've seen some of your wig and costume work, and it's gorgeous, and like you said, all self-taught. That's like insane. I don't know how you just picked that up from like YouTube. You gotta have a smart one up there.
I think Balina gave you a tag, Ophelia. It's very Ophelia. I love it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be cookie cutter in this world. Because
I'll leave now.
Everybody's kind of becoming a drag queen now, so not that people shouldn't. It's for everyone, but I mean, really, it helps to.
Be an individual.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that's what all you performers have. And I thank you so much again. Morgan, do you have anything? Morgan, you see what time it is, my love?
It is, and you know what? I'm okay with it being late because we've had such a great time with everybody. But this is also the worst part of the night that we hate and dread so much.
Do you want to say anything nice about our panelists today before we let them go?
Oh, of course.
That's where I was going with this.
We're just gonna do it. All right, let's do that. I love that. No, okay. I'm in it to win it too, my love. So, okay. Oh, okay. So can I just do Ophelia and just do everyone at once? No, because I'm going to do everybody individually as well because I adore everyone. Dominique, you're a gem, and you're my ride or die. We've just grown so close during the quarantine time. We've done so many great collaborated things, and you just inspire me to do everything that I do as well, and you push me forward to keep thriving here. Cali, when we met the first time on the rooftop of Taboo, I knew that we were going to be destined to be lifelong friends and mates. So you rock. I just love doing shows with you and spending time with you, and just your energy is just astounding. And I cannot wait to wear my red dress that matches the gold dress that I got you hooked up in. The gold dress. I have a red one that matches, my love. So we're gonna rock that out. Zaphira, the glow up is real. I told you that already. You're stunning, gorgeous. Your presence is everything. You just walk in the room and everybody just knows that you're there. I love that about you. I just always have had a great time with you. We have just a great rapport, and the feeling's mutual. Turning right around, you've always been nothing but nice to me, and nice gets nice, and I love that. Ophelia, you're very talented and gorgeous, and you bring all the drag that everybody wants. You're super talented with everything you do. Your perfection in your detail, and I'm super excited to see what this next round of Ophelia Hotass has to come in the New Year's. Balina, you are a very, very talented singer. You blow me away every time I hear you. I love your parodies that you do. I think that that's something new that I started seeing, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic. Don't ever stop doing that. You made me laugh the whole time during your video tonight. Your makeup is also glowing up too, so you just don't stop. Practice, practice, practice. You just kill it. And myself, I love no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, self-love.
I just want to do this really quick. I am very forthcoming with my compliments, and I hope everybody knows that they are all very sincere, even though there are a lot of them. I believe that complimenting people just gives them that extra pep in the step, so I am definitely one to always go to bat for people that I absolutely love and admire, and that is each and every one of you. I do want to call out two people that are near and dear to my heart so much. Of course, I want to say something very special about my husband, #poor Todd. I also could not be doing drag or living my dream if it was not for him. But the one queen on this panel that I do want to say something extra nice to, because she's the one queen that I haven't complimented the entire night, is my partner in crime, Miss Morgan. You are such a drag inspiration to me. I am so lucky to have been on this journey with you. I can't wait to see where we can take it. And I don't know how we are able to wrangle in such fabulous talent as we've been able to get these last shows. But I am just every day impressed with you. I know you get the brunt of Dominique Lee. And I apologize for my bluntness sometimes, but I absolutely love you, and I couldn't do this without you, and I couldn't imagine doing it with anybody else other than you. So thank you so much for all you do. But of course, thank you to all our guests. I absolutely love you. Morgan, what do you think the next unfortunate step of this show is going to be right now tonight?
Well, first and foremost, the show is not over. As much as it's almost 2 hours in, I don't care. The show is going to keep going. So if you're watching right now, please hit that share button. Let's bring more people on this positivity train, okay? Because we got more to give. But this is the time of night that we dread so much. This is the time that we have to say goodbye to our guests. So the show is not done. And I know, because we want to keep them all night and just keep this fun going, right?
Maybe not all night, but yes, I've had a great time with each and every one of them. And honestly, like, it's just been so much fun. The time really did.
Yes, seriously.
But without further ado, let's kick in the hell out of here, Morgan, so we can get going.
All right, I love that. All right, Ophelia, I'm going to say goodbye to you first. Thank you, love, so much for doing this and taking the time out of your day. We adore you so much.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Balina, you are amazing, gorgeous, and don't stop doing what you do. We love you so much. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Balina. Thank you.
Callie, you rock my socks. You're beautiful, gorgeous, and amazing. And thank you again for joining us tonight and giving us you.
In that fashion, goodbye, love. Goodbye, love.
Bye, love.
Zaphira, thank you again so much for joining us tonight.
Oh my God.
She's like, ooh, look at me. The best to last.
Saving the best
mama.
For the last.
Thank you so much. We love you so much. Can't wait to see you again soon. Bye,
love
babe.
you, Zaphira. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Hi.
Morgan, my wig by Dusty Rose is still looking fabulous. It had held up the entire show. This has been like reading War and Peace, but here we are. It has been absolutely fabulous. I absolutely loved it.
Yes, and you know what? I love that you loved it so much. Why don't we just keep going? We are already on that second hand. I want us to do my lucky number 7th show. What do you think, babe?
All right, I'm down for an episode 7.
And when can these fabulous people check us out?
Oh, Morgan, you know I have no head for dates. Why don't you roll that fun, fabulous new little video that you concocted just today to inform all the people?
I love it. I love it. And just in case you don't catch it, it's going to be on Thursday, April 8th at 8 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time. I love you, and let's check out who's going to be on our next show.
Love ya.
You know, something about that theme song just makes me so happy. I don't know why.
Oh my goodness. It just makes me want to snap awkwardly in the air.
You know what? It makes me happy, just as happy as I can see our Venmo scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
Oh my goodness, how wonderful. Yes, we are going to give our Facebook the opportunity to kick us off just one more time, because the lovely Morgan and I did a fun, fabulous little number. But Morgan, let's warn the people before we just play the episode. As you've seen, the theme of tonight has been worrying about if Facebook is going to kick us off due to copyright infringement. So if you've noticed, we have tweaked the audio a little bit. Unfortunately, with our number, the only way to tweak this number without it getting banned is to make it sound like some hard lesbian cover band singing time after time.
But you know what? We live for every moment of it. So,
yes,
you know what? Before we do that, why don't we tell everyone watching where they can check us out and what's going on with us? What do you think, babe?
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea, because what we normally do is we will put an unedited version on our social medias so you can enjoy the number that we worked really hard on. This number is dedicated to all our friends, so we're very excited. We definitely want you to enjoy it. You can catch me on Instagram at It's Me, Dominique Lee, and you can catch me on YouTube at Dominique Lee.
And on Instagram, you can also check me out on ITS Morgan. And you can also slide over to my Facebook page, Nurse Morgan, though I am a real nurse during the day. So definitely come check us out for all these fun things that we got coming up soon. But Dominique, I think it's time. And you know what? If they haven't already, please hit that share button, because I want everyone to see this fabulous video.
Yes, this number, as I said before, is dedicated to all our friends that we miss so much. We are excited that things are safely opening up, but it is not going to be the same till we can actually hug you and know that's what we think about each and every day. We love you. We miss you all. Morgan, hit this beautiful number. I'm really excited.
Hitting it.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you. Caught up in circles, confusion is nothing new. Flashback, long nights almost left behind. Suitcase of memories, time after sometimes you picture me. I'm walking too far ahead, you're calling to me. I can't hear what you said, and you say, go slow, and I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. My picture fades and darkness has turned to gray. Watching through windows, you're wondering if I'm okay. Secrets stolen from deep inside, deep inside. beats out of time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I'll be waiting. Time after time. If you're lost, you can look and you will find me. Time after time. If you fall, I will catch you. I will be waiting. Time after time. Time after time. I got a suitcase of memories that almost left behind. Time after time. Time you start to go slow, but come from behind. Time after
Yay. Well, time after time, I'll pick you to continue this journey together.
So sad. I don't want to shed a tear on my Dusty Rose original wig, but
here you go. it's fun. I need a Dusty Rose original.
Well, you know she's right over there on Messenger under Dusty Rose, honey. You can just message her and talk to her about commissioning a wig. I don't know how this stuff works. I have a family.
Look at this up close picture of us. We are you're gorgeous, and when I say you're gorgeous, I mean we're gorgeous.
Oh my goodness! And when I say you're gorgeous, I mean strictly you, just so you know.
So I cannot wait for everyone to check us out and how gorgeous we are next couple Thursdays from now, April 8th. At 8 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, the word you were looking for is check us out on our next episode, April 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook. We have a star-studded panel, and I am very excited to talk to each and every one of them. And I am very excited to spend another evening with my good friend, Miss Morgan.
Agreed. All right, babe. Thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see you soon. You keep safe, healthy, and happy, okay? And I will see you very soon.
If you stop the live now, we'll be just under 2 hours, so hurry up and hit it. Bye, everyone.
Bye.